The next day, everyone meets downstairs for breakfast. A butler had knocked bright and early on our doors to tell us breakfast would be served. Zach and I were the first ones downstairs, followed by Kara and Amelia. The pongo snoozes softly inside of my scarf, taking advantage of a few extra winks. I hope everything works out between Leanna and her parents. I don't want my good friends to have to marry someone she doesn't love, or be forced to give up her profession.
Good morning.
Leon nods to us and sits down at the table. His hair is brushed and tidy and his armor is spotless. Suddenly I hear some footsteps. I look and see Leanna approaching the table. Her face is pale and her blue eyes don't have that usual sparkle.
Hi.
She smiles and my heart caves for her. It's clear she hasn't slept well at all. Good morning. Leanna takes a seat next to me. Kara leans over.
Leanna,
Leanna looks up at Kara, who gives her an encouraging grin.
today is going to be better. Now that everyone's had a chance to sleep on it, I'm sure you'll be able to have a calm, rational discussion.
Good luck with that. Leanna nods.
Thanks, Kara.
I concur. Should you continue your discussion today, it should be about finding solutions as the raw emotions have already been expressed.
I hope that's true.
Have you made your decision?
She nods again.
Yeah.
Just as I'm about to ask Leanna about her decision, another set of footsteps echo across the marble. Lady Dawn looks just as uneasy as Leanna. Her hair is pinned up in curls and she wears a beautiful satin gown. Her cheeks are just as pale as Leanna's, and it's clear that she hadn't had a good night's rest either. Lord Dawn stands at her side, his jaws clenched, his spine locked. His stormy presence seems to fill up the entire room. Not a word is said as they cross over to their seats.
Good morning.
She struggles to smile. The tension in the air is heavy, dampening conversation.
How is everyone? Did you all sleep well?
Quite well, thank you. The bed here is much more comfortable than the one back at the academy.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Without even a glance at his breakfast, Lord Dawn pushes his plate aside and folds his hands over the table. His sharp gaze falls onto his daughter.
We need to talk about what happened yesterday.
Leanna slowly puts her fork down.
Okay.
Her voice is careful, guarded.
How long have you been a mage knight?
Her cheeks flush.
I started as soon as I earned the title from the Mage Academy.
He blinks, clearly shocked. Even his wife lets out a breath of surprise. His mouth curls as though he's just tasted something sour.
So you mean to tell me that you have been lying to us since the beginning?
Leanna keeps her nerves steady.
Yes.
That ends now. You will give up this irresponsible behavior, and you will be married.
My stomach drops. Leanna lurches to a stand.
I am not marrying him. And I will not give up being a mage knight.
Shock ripples through me. Her father sighs deeply, exasperated.
Why must you make this so difficult, Liana?
I'm not the one who's making things difficult.
I would have assumed that you would have thought this through last night. But you are still being completely irrational.
The heat returns to Leanna's voice.
I'm not the one who's forcing me to give up my dream and purpose in life.
Oh, spare me the theatrics. How could this be your dream? Don't you realize how dangerous it is to be a mage knight?
Yes, I do realize that. I live it every day. But at least, as a mage knight, I'm well equipped to take care of myself. I've been trained to handle danger.
He shakes his head.
You can't be prepared for every circumstance. What if you get ambushed, outnumbered, or overwhelmed in battle? What if your teammates fall and you're the only one left?
So what if that does happen? How can we live life based on hypotheticals? What if I became ill? What if I couldn't bear children? Would you still force me to get married? But if those things happened, I wouldn't be able to fulfill my duty as a lady in the House of Dawn. Then what?
Her father scowls and waves a hand dismissively.
That's not the same. Those are all based on chance. You aren't throwing yourself into situations which would allow those things to occur. As a mage knight, you're walking into those scenarios every day.
Leanna points a finger at Leon. Her voice is shrill as she tries to keep her composure.
What about Leo then? He's a mage knight who walks into danger every day. Why aren't you worried about him?
Because it's his responsibility to serve and protect as a man in the House of Dawn.
For once, Leanna is speechless. Silence settles over the table like a heavy blanket. Her mother stares at her lap, as still as a statue. Leon opens and closes his mouth as if he wants to speak, but can't find the words to say. Her father nods.
Now that you've come to your senses, we can discuss the details of the engagement.
No.
The rage returns to her father's face.
How many times must we go round in this endless game? When will you accept your responsibility as a lady in the House of Dawn?
Leanna's voice is scarily calm.
If this is what it takes to be a Dawn, then I don't want to be a Dawn anymore.
There's a momentary pause, so still you can't even hear breathing. Leon stares sharply at her,
Leah.
but Leanna just shakes her head. Her mother laughs shakily.
Let's just calm down, all right, dear? We know you don't mean that.
She reaches for her daughter's hand, but Leanna pulls away.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I meant what I said.
Her mother's face crumples as hurt creases her brow. Her father scoffs.
Liana, don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious, Father.
He's about to respond when Leon interrupts.
Father, listen to her. She's not joking.
He looks from Leon to Leanna, and slowly the anger melts from his face to be replaced with confusion and pain? He looks at Leanna as if he's looking at a stranger. He shakes his head and abruptly stands to his feet.
I can't have a discussion with you when you're like this. Come find me when you're ready to have a discussion like adults.
Without waiting for a response, he slams the doors open and storms out of the dining room.
I'll go talk to him.
Leon scrambles after him. Leanna's mother remains in the room. She seems defeated.
Come now, dear. Really. Think about what you're saying.
Leanna's voice softens as she sees the pain in her mother's eyes.
I'm sorry, Mother, but I've made my decision. I've tried to be a good daughter to you, and I've tried to make my house proud. But what you're asking me to do this time, I can't. I just can't.
Her mother sighs deeply and closes her eyes. Leanna looks at the rest of us.
We should go.
Her voice has a note of finality to it. Without a word, we scrape our chairs back and follow Leanna out of the room. As we leave, I hear Lady Dawn's faint voice.
Leah, I'll always be proud of you, no matter what.
Leanna stops, stunned. She looks back at her mother, her eyes glittering. She rushes to her and throws her arms around her in a hug. Her mother hugs her back, gripping her tightly. All too soon, she releases her daughter. Leanna turns back around and leads us back to the main foyer. We wait as servants gather our belongings. Kira gently touches Leanna's arm.
Hey, what you did back there.
I know.
Kira hesitates.
Are you doing okay?
I don't know. A part of me feels lighter, but another part of me just feels sad.
There's nothing I can say that would make this better. I remain quiet. I can't even begin to imagine what it must feel like to have your family turn their back to you like that. There's nothing I can say which will make her feel better. Although she tries to keep her tone light, I can tell she's hurting. This could not have been an easy decision for her. We fall silent. Suddenly a voice calls out.
Liana.
We freeze and slowly turn around. Lord Dawn and Leon stand behind us, their cloaks billowing behind them. Lord Dawn straightens and clears his throat.
Liana,
Father,
I had hoped that you would move past this childishness and accept your responsibility.
Leon is about to retort, but he holds up a hand.
But I see now that being a mage knight means something far more to you.
He glances down at his daughter.
I don't agree with your decision to willingly put yourself in danger, but I would.
Lord Dawn pauses, struggling to find the right words. I doubt he's used to anyone challenging him.
I would rather have a daughter who would recklessly put herself in danger for the sake of others than no daughter at all.
Leanna's eyes well up. She rushes to her father and wraps him in a big hug. He stiffens in surprise, uncomfortable and uncertain. But as the shock wears off, a small smile tugs at his lips and he hugs her back. Soon he breaks the hug. Leanna wipes at her eyes as her father clears his throat.
Now, there is only one thing missing for you to be truly recognized as a mage knight.
what's that?
Leon hands his father a wrapped blade. which Lord Dawn carefully unwraps. A sharp silver blade with an ornate sapphire hilt glitters beneath the light.
Each of these blades has a legacy. They have been passed down to the sons of our house for generations, but it has never been passed down to a woman before today, as we've never had a woman mage knight in the family. That is, before you, my daughter.
Lord Dawn smiles proudly at Leanna. He reverently offers a sword to her. She carefully takes the blade and scabbard and straps it to herself.
Thank you, Father.
Treat it well, and it will take care of you.
I will.
You can always come home, too. Your mother will find another suitable match for you.
Father,
That is, when you are ready.
Leanna smiles.
thank you.
He clears his throat.
Good. Well,
He clears his and straightens as if he's talking to a knight.
be safe, be decisive, be vigilant. Above all else, be honorable.
Leanna salutes and Lord Dawn puts a hand on her shoulder. He nods and heads back to the dining room. Leon lingers behind.
So you're officially a mage knight now.
Leanna lets out the breath she was holding. The tension in her body eases as she turns to Leon.
Well, I've actually officially been one for a while.
I know. You looked radiant when you walked on that stage.
Leanna blinks.
Wait, you were there? You knew?
He grins.
You didn't think I'd miss my baby sister's graduation, did you?
Her mouth falls open.
How did you know? And why didn't you tell me? We could have...
He laughs and pulls her into a hug.
I'm proud of you, Leah. Maybe I'll be able to catch you next time you're in Illumia.
She hugs him back.
Of course.
They break away, still smiling.
Stay safe.
You too.
They have one last quick hug before breaking apart. Leo gives the rest of us a farewell salute, then turns and follows his father. Yeah, I don't remember how to pronounce the dude's name. The butler waits for us at the door. After saying goodbye, we return to the gravel path and begin the trek back down the long drive. Well, that turned out better than expected.
Yes.
Leanna is all smiles as we continue to walk. She seems to hold herself taller, finally feeling free from the weight of her responsibilities. Her happy mood greatly improves their spirits.
It would seem that as this business has concluded, we should continue our travels.
Agreed.
She checks the sun in the sky.
We've still got most of the day to travel. We should be able to cover a good distance before we have to stop for camp.
Leanna leads us through the town and back into the open road. We travel through smaller roads to return to course, making our way towards the Shadow Temple. Although Leanna's mood seems fine, she's quiet for most of the journey. The rest of us keep talking to a minimum. Okay, where's the proofreader when you need him? It's been an emotionally draining couple of days, and we're all feeling the effects from that. Leanna's relationship with her parents is complicated. I know she has a deep respect and strong bond with her family, and after this morning, it's obvious her family loves her. I'm glad they were able to reach some sort of understanding and remember what is important. As we leave Hearthdawn behind us, we begin to focus on what's ahead of us. When the sun hangs high in the sky, we stop to take a break. I gladly sit down to rest my weary feet when Leanna approaches me. Slowly, I shift my gaze up to her. She looks at me expectantly. Are we training today?
Yes. Why wouldn't we?
I just wasn't sure how you were feeling after this morning.
Honestly, I'm okay. Although I still wish they can accept my decision the same way they accept Leo. But I can tell that they're trying hard to understand.
No point dwelling on it. It's good that you're finally able to get that out in the open, but what's done is done. There's no point dwelling on the past. All we can do is continue to move forward. Leanna nods.
Exactly. I said my piece, and now everything is out in the open. What happens moving forward is up to them. But just because we've had this talk, doesn't mean you can get to skip out on training.
I push myself to my feet. I wouldn't dream of it. We split off from the group and get ready, then Leanna pauses.
Actually, you can still cast other elements, right?
I nod. Good. Mix them up during our spar so you get a broader range of practice. Why don't I practice with all of them? She looks surprised.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
I remember the fatigue I felt the last time I tried that. I have to get stronger somehow, and the best way to do that is to keep at it.
That's true.
Why the hesitation?
Sparring against 4 elements is a challenge for me, too. I think I may need some backup.
Okay, let's go get the Pongo. She grins and returns to the group who are in the midst of eating and resting.
That was quick. Something happened?
Not yet. I came to enlist your help.
Whose help?
All of yours.
She asks the team to help with the training since I'll be casting all the elements. Zack gets to his feet.
I'm in.
Oh, well, good.
He grins.
Any excuse to shoot something.
She gives him a wary look. Amy jumps to her feet and brushes off her skirt.
I will provide my expertise as well, as I am well versed in 2 of the 4 elements he can cast. I will be able to provide more guidance to his casts.
Leanna nods and we all look at Kara.
If everyone else is in, then I'm in too.
Leanna leads everyone back to the open space where I wait for them. Zack wastes no time. He digs into his holsters and pulls out his dischargers.
Get ready.
I ready myself as they get in position. Once we're all set, Zack fires and I leap out of the way. The others rush in. Amelia shoots a ball of fire at my chest, but I wave my hand. A wall of water shoots up, absorbing the blow with a hiss. Zack fires his discharges. I assume that's intentional, but it could be dischargers. My face curdles into a growl, forcing up another earth shield. Violet light blooms and explodes against it. Dirt explodes up into the air. Leanna blurs towards me, but wind howls around my frame. I zip out of the way, blocking her with a score of heavy blows. Kara lunges just as Leanna swings. I shove them both back with an explosion of wind. They squeak and fly backwards. Another violet light cracks near my head. Then another and another. I dash out of the way, a gale freezing and howling in my ears. Amelia's bracelets glow. Ice pours from her palm. It groans across the grass, and I realize she's trying to wrap the ice around my feet. I wave my hand, melting her attack with a wave of shimmering heat. I barely have time to think, I just react. Another trail of fire flies at me and I block it, with an earthen shield. But as soon as I do that, I raise my sword to deflect Kara's dagger. I spin around and duck beneath Leanna's sword, pushing her back with a gale force blow before raising another earthen barrier to block both Zack's shots and Amelia's magic. My breathing is labored, but I don't dare slow down, even though I can see the fatigue starting to settle in on my friends. I'm starting to wear them down. A new hope blooms within me, bringing another surge of adrenaline. Leanna and Kara hang back, their chests heaving. They exchange glances with Zack and Amy and nod. Uh-oh. I do not like the looks of that. All at once they rush me. Zack fires off 2 rounds as he races towards me, which I deflect with my magic. Using wind to augment my speed, I twist out of Kara's range and meet Leanna's strike with my sword. As all my teammates' strikes become more coordinated, I struggle to keep up with their relentless attacks. The frustration builds within me. I need to separate them, but no matter how often I manage to push one away, there are 3 more filling in. There must be something I can do to gain some distance. I forcefully gather energy into my fist. I leap into the air and crash down, pounding my fist into the earth. A blinding white light explodes across the field, mirrored by each of the 4 elements. I hear the yelps from my friends as they are knocked back. There's a small crater where my fist landed on the ground, and the nearby grass and leaves are singed. My friends stir on the ground, looking dazed and confused. A fierce pain twists into my chest. It unfurls and spreads like fire. I cry out, collapsing onto my knees. Spots dance in front of my eyes as I crumple to the ground.
Oh no!
Leanna shoots up. She sprints towards me, her sword forgotten in the grass. Her arms wrap around my shoulders.
Are you alright?
I groan. Her face is a little blurry. Goodbye, cruel world. I feel like I've been hit by a crystal rail. Think this might be it for me. I reach out a hand and gently stroke her cheek. Don't cry for me, Leanna.
I'm not crying.
Her brows furrow in worry.
Oh no, your reality is fuzzy. You might have a concussion. Or worse.
The others gather around me too. Are you guys okay? They nod.
Don't worry about us. We're fine. Barely. What's going on with you?
I shake my head. I don't know. I groan, gripping my chest.
It seems your body cannot endure the amount of energy you mass exerted.
She pauses thinking.
Although incredibly potent and powerful, amassing such quantities of energy is proving to be quite dangerous.
It wasn't that much, though. I can still feel a lot of untapped energy within.
If that is the case, I would highly recommend not attempting to summon all of your energy at once. Ever.
Ever?
Indeed. If what you say is true, while you may have an incredible amount of energy stored within you, you are still limited by your mind and body. I fear such an excessive usage of energy could prove to be fatal.
A sense of dread fills my stomach. I nod. I guess I can't avoid it. And that's gonna make eventually casting a rift really difficult. Exhaustion ripples through me. I moan and close my eyes.
You should rest. Come on, we'll help you.
They haul me to my feet. One of my arms surrounds Zack's shoulder, the other around Leanna's. They help me over to the pile of bags and packs. I lean against the packs as my teammates rest and clean up. My eyes feel heavy and I fight to keep them open. I'll just close them for a minute. The sounds fade away as sleep overtakes me. A sound wakes me. I groan and blink, my eyes adjusting to the golden glow of firelight. Whoa, it's dark out. I groan, sitting up on top of my bedroll. Some must have moved me and I didn't notice. How long was I out? I find Leanna sitting alone and go talk to her. She smiles up at me as I approach.
Are you feeling any better?
A bit, yeah. Sorry I fell asleep earlier. She shakes her head dismissively.
Don't worry about it. You seem like you really needed it.
I guess I did. We fell quiet for a second.
Our training earlier today. You've gotten a lot stronger.
Yeah.
I've taught you everything I can at this point.
I pause. Does this mean no more training? I can finally sleep in! I throw my hands up in the air in celebration. Hello, sleep. I have missed you. Leanna gives me a strange look.
You don't have to sound so happy.
Sorry, it's not that I don't appreciate your help. I just really like sleeping in the morning.
Well, then I'm sorry to disappoint you, but you're still going to have to wake up early.
Traitor! Oh.
We'll continue practicing to make sure you hone your skills. But now that you've progressed so quickly, I foresee our sparring becoming even more evenly matched. And with your multi-elemental casting, well, I'll also be challenged and looking to improve my skills too.
There's an excited glint in her eye. I think she's looking forward to a challenge. It'll be nice being the one on top for once. Think of all those times Leanna knocked me on my butt while I was learning how to cast. Oh, how the tables have turned. I look forward to finally seeing you on your back.
What?
You know, when I win the duel and knock you over, you'll be on the ground.
Oh, right. Well, don't underestimate me, or you'll be the one on the ground.
Leanna grins. The embers in the fire die down as the rest of the team gets ready for bed. Leanna and I decide to turn in so we can get a head start in the morning. We've lost some time due to my impromptu nap. Even though I slept all day, I still feel exhausted. I'm fast asleep as soon as I lie down. My body feels achy and sore the next morning. I groan but push past the pain. I haven't felt the sore since we first started traveling. We have a quick breakfast and clean up the campsite before resuming our travels. I continue to practice with Leanna and my teammates, and I slowly seem to gain a better grasp on multi-elemental casting. Each time I have to be careful with how much energy I use. My body feels fatigued after each battle, but I'm careful to make sure I don't reach the same level of fatigue as the first time I tried casting all of the elements. After another 3 days' journey, the landscape changes from green trees to dry sand. The heat burns my skin. I can feel it radiating off the sand. A part of me really wishes to be back north with the cold again. The sun only intensifies the dry heat steaming up the desert sands. I let out a grateful breath as we near the city gates. 2 guards stand watch at the entrance. Their deep caramel skin contrasts with their white tunics. As we draw near, they watch us warily, acutely aware of our different garb, but they allow us to pass. Instead of the higher structures of Haven Guard, the buildings in Medja are broader with rounded domes on the top. The people wear simple, long tunics and elaborate jewels decorate their necks. It seemed surprisingly normal and even a bit familiar. When Amy mentioned Medja wasn't part of Havenguard, I expected to enter a fantastical city. Kara cranes her neck as we walk through the town, her eyes sparkling with excitement.
This is amazing! I can't believe I'm standing on Venean soil. Think of all the history that's hidden here.
Let's go find the shops.
She looks at Zack with surprise.
You want a souvenir too?
No, we need to stock up on supplies.
Oh, right.
Correct. However, once we've acquired all we need to be prepared for the temple, we can then further explore the city.
I glance at Amelia. Although her voice remains cool, her cheeks are flushed and her gaze darts from structure to structure. She must be as excited as Kara is to be in the Venean city of Medja.
It is getting late in the day, though. We should hurry before the shops close.
Together we wander the city until we spot the cloth tents of the marketplace. Reminds me a bit of Bazada. Except that with the exception of food stalls, all the shops are closed. Leanna shields her eyes as she squints at the sky.
That's strange. There's still daylight.
We continue to walk through, hoping to spot an open store, but the streets are eerily quiet and empty. We reach the main square and finally spot crowds of people bustling about. Many carry strings of lights, while others prepare long ribbons of hanging flowers. Looks like they're preparing for an event. I hear the loud cries from the food stalls.
Sweet date soup! Come have a taste and find your own sweet date for the festival.
I guess there's going to be a festival. Maybe that's why all the stores are closed. Kara grins.
Sounds like we'll have to spend the night here.
The food vendor catches my eye and splits into a broad grin.
Are you ready to find your sweet date today?
I'll pass. Maybe another time. What exactly is going on?
It's the celebration of the sun.
The sun?
Yes, this time of year is when it shines the brightest. Its ray shines happiness and fortune upon Terra.
What does that mean exactly?
The longest day signifies the beginning of the summer harvest. This celebration is to hope fortune favors us with a strong harvest.
Don't personify the sun, dude. Just praise it. The sun is actually just a giant ball of gas, and all it shines on Terra is electromagnetic radiation. The man just blinks. Leanna looks disapprovingly at me.
Don't be rude.
Alright, well, thanks for the info. I turn back to the team. So, he said that.
We know. We were standing right here.
It would seem inevitable that we must rest in Mahut today, so we may
What?
resupply tomorrow. Perhaps we should search for an inn.
I want to hear that again. Meha?
It would seem inevitable that we must rest in Mahut today. It would seem inevitable that we...
Meha, I
Good
guess.
idea.
We continue through the city. The further in we travel, the more decorated the city becomes. I gaze appreciatively at the ribbons and flowers. Eventually we find the inn and step inside. The lobby smells of cinnamon and cardamom, emphasized by the stale heat of the town. The small breeze flowing through the wide-open windows merely stirs the warm air through the building. Leanna speaks with the innkeeper and secures us rooms, then passes out keys. The rest of us look for seats. Instead of traditional chairs, plush cushions circle the wooden tables. We gather around a table nearby and get settled. Kara offers to order us food and heads over to the bar. Before she reaches there, a strange man approaches Kara. Zack watches the man warily.
Sure is hot in here, isn't it?
Kara's eyes are shining as she looks at the man. She smirks, clearly amused.
Is it? I didn't really notice.
It must just be you then.
I groan internally. Kara raises an eyebrow. I think she stifles a laugh. Zack's hands ball into fists, his gaze fixated on the scene before him.
It's important to stay hydrated though. Here, let me buy you a drink.
He steps closer and puts an arm around Kara, steering her towards the bar. Suddenly, Zack is back on his feet. As Kara carefully disengages herself from the guy, Zack strides over and shoves him away from Kara, causing her to topple over.
Keep your hands off of her.
The man looks at Zack in surprise, but even more surprisingly, Kara whirls on Zack.
What do you think you're doing?
He had his hands all over you. I'm protecting you from this creep.
Whoa, wait.
What makes you think I need protection?
So I'm not supposed to defend you?
Not if you're going to resort to violence right away.
But violence is fun.
Fine then. I'm sorry for caring when another man puts his hands on you. I'll be sure not to give a shit next time.
Oh, you do not get to turn this around on me.
Zack throws his hands up.
There's just no winning with you, is there?
Not when you keep making the wrong decisions.
Hey,
The two of them simultaneously yell at the man.
Shut up!
Shut up!
The man is taken aback, but takes that as his cue to leave. Kara and Zack stare at each other, tension high. There's a palpable electricity between them.
I have the situation under control.
Their faces are an inch apart. Zack grabs Kara. His eyes smolder, but they linger on Kara's lips.
Didn't like seeing that guy's hands all over you.
Kara looks down at his hands, then back up at Zack's face.
You mean like how your hands are all over me now?
There's an air of challenge to her tone, but I think I catch the faint shadow of a smile, as if she's enjoying this. Zack's about to retort, but instead whirls around.
Whatever. I'm going to my room.
He starts to head upstairs, but Kara hurries and beats him to the first step.
No, I'm going to my room.
Okay, well you guys do that, I'll go order the food. The two of them race up the stairs and disappear from view, seemingly forgetting about us. Leanna, Amelia, and I sit stunned. What did we just witness?
They seem pretty angry. Do you think they'll be okay? Maybe we should check on them.
Amy shakes her head.
That is unnecessary.
Are you sure?
Yes. I am quite certain that we do not wish to interrupt their coming copulation.
Leanna sputters. Her eyes are wide.
Amelia! Why would you say that?
It was quite obvious. The pheromones emitting from them was quite strong. That coupled with...
Ah! Don't say coupled!
Leanna squirms. I don't want any part of this, man. Just deal me out, please. Things have taken a very weird turn, and I do not want to be part of this conversation.
Although, perhaps the most obvious sign of their impending coitus was Zack firmly gripping Kara's buttocks as the two climbed up the stairs.
Leanna jumps to her feet.
Okay, that's enough of that. I need to go be productive, or something.
While they're being reproductive, I guess. A small shudder shivers down her spine as she shakes away her thoughts. She quickly heads out of the inn. Amy smooths her skirt as she also gets to her feet.
There's merit in Liana's suggestion of productivity. I do believe Zack and Kara will be preoccupied for a while.
It's weird when you put it that way.
I, too, shall be productive, or something.
Amelia confidently strides out of the inn, leaving me sitting alone at an empty table. Well, I want to sit here alone. Who do I want to hang out with? Is the creeper still by? Aw, man. Well, there goes my appetite, I guess. I went around the town for a while, watching as it slowly transforms from quiet, plain storefronts to a city decked out in streams of golden ribbon and golden crystal lights. I stretch my arms over my head and yawn. The sun is starting to go down. The sky is streaked in simmering scarlets and rosy pinks. I had better head back. I end up exploring the festival later with Leanna and Amelia. Lights shimmer between the branches like fireflies. Few kids giggle and race through the streets. Some of them are carrying sparklers, but unlike the ones at home, these ones shimmer and spark with all kinds of colors. A strange weight settles in my chest. I remember having celebrations like this at home. I wonder how everything's going over there.
Hey, what's wrong?
Leanna cocks her head curiously. She's holding what looks to be a stick of cotton candy, but the lilac tuft sparkles in the glow of the lanterns. Nothing. I shrug. It's nothing. I don't want to burden people with my problems. It wasn't much for talking about them anyway. Leanna blinks.
Okay.
Thanks for worrying, though.
Liana, I see you have gotten the same dessert as I have.
We turn to see Amelia with the same fluffy treat. Hers is lime-colored instead of purple.
You got one too? Isn't it delicious?
Amelia nods. What is that?
Pixie floss. Do you want to try it?
I blink. Pixie floss? I've never heard of it. Leanna rips off a small piece for me to try. I pop it into my mouth. It dissolves almost instantly across my tongue with a sweet, creamy lavender taste. Hey, that's pretty good. Leanna grins.
Told ya.
We spend the rest of the time exploring the festival. Amelia lets me have a bite of her pixie floss too. Hers is surprisingly tart. Whatever glitters over the candy seems to leave a thin layer in my mouth. Leanna and Amelia get some face paintings later. It's mostly children running around with them on, but that doesn't seem to stop them from joining in. The artist painted pictures of butterflies, suns, and hearts on their cheeks. The paint glows as bright as fireflies and seems to be available in different colors. By the end of the night, my face hurts from smiling. The butterflies on Leanna's cheeks glow lemon bright. They seem even brighter with her smile. Amelia's face remains blank, but the little glowing hearts on her cheek seem to match her pink hair. There's a couples competition going on in the middle of the square as a part of the festival. It's too bad Zack and Kara are otherwise occupied. It might have been funny to see them compete. We watch a little bit of the competition as couples show off their artistic prowess and dancing skills. As we explore some more of the decorations, I hear the sharp melody of songs in the air. We finish the evening watching the fireworks. Colors burst glittering brightly against the inky night sky. Leanna smiles as bright as the fireworks. Amelia watches the shimmering colors intently. I see their golden reflection in her eyes. Afterwards, we walk back to the inn and call it a night. When I get back to my room, the Pongo is waiting for me on the pillow, snoring softly. I gently push him aside so as not to wake him and settle in the covers. My mind begins to drift off, and eventually I fall into an easy sleep.